Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to test flight in the UH-1 Huey. And I'm moving on to weapons employment. So this is the kind of the third and final phase of test flight in the Huey, and then I'll move on to something else. I'm not sure exactly what yet. Hopefully a new aircraft is going to get released very, very soon. I've been saying that for a while, but we'll see. Let's see now. I want to go ahead and just start up a mission. I have a mission set up. It's my normal on-the-range training range mission. I have it set up for a UH-1, so I'll go ahead and open it up and get in here and look at what we're going to be employing this time. So if I come to my payload for the UH-1, I have a whole lot of, well, not a lot, but I have some very, very interesting options. Now out on the, mounted on the left and right side, I have M134 miniguns. These are 7.62mm rotary cannons that I can see these being fun. I have tested these out once before I recorded this, and these are a blast to use, as you'll see. I also have two rocket pods, one with Willie Pete, one with high explosive, mounted out there on the side. And door gunners, I have both options for the door gunners, M134 rotary cannon, and a standard M60 machine gun out there on that'll be the left door. So those are the choices, and this gives pretty much the entire breadth of what you can employ with in the UH-1. Now, something that I noticed is that this puts a lot of weight on the aircraft, especially these gun pods out on the side. I'm at 50% fuel right now, and I'm already starting to push max gross weight. I do have the option, if I wanted to take a M261 launcher. It's a 19 by rocket pod. It just adds so much weight to it that I'll tell you what, I'm going to do it anyway. Why not? I'll put a, yeah, I've got HE on this side, Willie Pete on this side. 50% fuel, that puts me at 99% of the max gross weight for the aircraft, but that'll give me a lot more shots to take, because I'm sure I'll want to fire a lot as I'm trying to figure out the best way to employ as we go. I'll see how this works. That's a lot of weight to have on the aircraft, but hey, it's all about learning. I'll learn how to hopefully take off and maneuver the aircraft at a high gross weight as we go as well. Okay, let me go down to 40% just to get it a little bit better. Okay, 98%. Doesn't make that much difference, but I'm not going to be in the air that long. Okay, with that, let me go ahead and jump into the cockpit and we'll get things started. I'll be right back. Okay, back in the cockpit and I'm on the ground at, where am I at? I'm at Sanaki Airfield. Let me disable those labels, and I need to permanently disable those, or disable the labels since I'm done with the bear trap campaign. I just had them on temporarily to help out a little bit with air-to-air. But yeah, I can already see out there on the right side, there's the gun M134 right out there mounted on the right side, and I can see the other one. Looks like the ammunition boxes mounted right here in the cargo section. For the guns, I've got two door gunners. Yeah, I've got the big rotary cannon out there on the right side, and I've got the M60 gun out there on the left. Okay, now, as this is just all about the process of learning an aircraft, I'm going to go through this and repeat a lot of the stuff that I've gone through up to this point. I'm going to do the startup procedure and do a little bit of navigation out to the range area. So that'll probably take the better part of this and a little bit of the next video. But learning an aircraft is really all about repetition. I mean, you shouldn't, or I try not to just hop into an aircraft and do the startup and just, okay, do that over and over. I think I've said that a few times before. Or just, hop into the air and just do one thing. I try to keep it in the context of the total mission, so that even though I'm not focusing on one aspect of what I'm doing, I'm still getting to practice and build good habit patterns as I go, as I get to the point where I'm doing other things in the mission. So even though this one's focused around weapons employment, I'm going to get to practice some stuff that I've done before. Okay, so let me pull up the checklist. Okay, so the map that I have right now, I didn't do any custom maps since this one has steer points that are going to take me to the right place. I'm right here at Sanaki Kolki, so it'll be taking off and turning to the southwest. I have I think in the mission editor at least, there was a bridge right here that I'm going to use as a little bit of a navigation point. I'll turn slightly more to the south, come out here to steer point 3, and then head due west into the target area that I This is the normal target area that I have for the On the Range series out here at Steer Point 4. I've got some mobile, I've got essentially just a group of trucks out there that I'm going to be employing weapons on, and allowing the AI to employ weapons on as well, and see how that works. Okay, so I've got that. I've also got somewhere here, I thought I had it in the right order. Oh, you know what? I did not. I'll get this before I get started. I forgot to save the checklist as BMP files. I thought there was, I didn't think it mattered actually. I thought it could be a JPEG, a PNG, BMP. You save them to a folder, and might as well just put a link to it because I know somebody's going to ask as a result of this video. You save it to the folder as a BMP file and it shows up on your kneeboard. I'll put a link to that video in that description as well. I'm going to pause here briefly, do that, and come right back. Sorry, I'll be see you in a second. Okay, folks, I'm back, and if you want to see what I just did, go to the... There's going to be an On the Range video covering adding images and adding checklists to the kneeboard, and that's what I just did. I added the combat employment checklist out of the DCS UH-1 Huey manual. That's what I was missing. That's what I meant to do before I started this this video anyway. Okay, but what I will do is go through the engine start procedure, and like I said before, just for familiarization, just to let me disable labels again. Okay, just to make sure that I've got it down. Okay, before starting engines, DC breakers in, and dome light as required. Got it, in and got it. Okay, AC power, phase switch to AC. Got it, and inverter switch off. Got it. Okay, DC power, main gen on. Guard down. Okay, voltmeter to essential bus. Non-essential bus as required. I'll leave that in the normal position. Starter gen switch to start and battery on. So, okay, starter gen, battery on. And kill that tone. Okay, got it. Off. Ground power unit not required. Fire extinguisher or fire detection system test, light on. Avionics off or as desired. Got it. External drawer stores. Okay, off safe and normal on all my armored and countermeasures panels. Governor auto. Fuel on. Lower PM. Okay. Off, and off on the de-ice. Got it. Caution panel. Test. Okay, I always do it in the wrong order. Okay, test. Lights on. Reset. Master caution off. Hydraulic control on. Force trim on. Chip detector, verified both. Got it. Okay, flight controls, freedom of movement, good, collective, verified all the way down. Okay, altimeter, and I'm going to go ahead and set my altimeter up, set for field elevation. I am not sure exactly what the field elevation is. Luckily, I do have a way to find out. Let me go ahead and go over to the map for Kolki, Sanaki, Kolki, on the kneeboard. Field elevation, you're here somewhere, 42 feet, 13 meters. Okay, 42 feet. And while I'm here, tower frequency is 132. Let me go ahead and get that because I know I'm going to forget. Okay, 132 for my tower frequency, and okay, 43 feet for my field elevation. So I'm going to come to my altimeter and just preset it to, is that 10, 20... What are those tick marks at? Okay, it's 20 feet per tick mark. Okay, that can't be right. No, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, that's right. So 43 feet. Yeah, struggling with math today, as always. Okay, right there. And let me get that for the co-pilot as well. Although I'm sure the co-pilot is perfectly capable of doing it himself. Let me actually go over there and get this from this position, and I want 43 feet. It's 50. That'd be, I'll eyeball it. That'd be right about there. So yeah, about 2991. Yeah, that sounds about right. Back to the right seat. Okay, and then back into the checklist, which is going to take me to the engine start procedure. And I did find out, and thanks very much to the commenter. I should know your name, but I don't. Any commenter who has a UH-1 as a background image for their profile knows what they're talking about. And the start button on the Collective is like on the back of the Collective. You can't see it from here, and it's not a clickable button. So that's where the start button actually is on the Collective. So that's when I depress it on the keyboard. That's where I'll be imagining that I'm pressing it at. Okay, but anyway, idle. Let me set it back over past the idle. Okay, all the way to the right. Actually, no, all the way to the left. That was correct. Okay, past the idle detent to the cutoff position. And now, let me depress and get the starter going. Close the door, cut down on the noise a bit. I'm going to be looking for rotor movement, no more than 15% RPM. And as I get my RPM starting to come up, I'm going to pull it out of the cutoff position and put it into idle. I'll have to go ahead and do that right now. And then rest it against the idle stop and hold the start button until I get to 40% or 40 seconds, whichever occurs first. I will turn down the volume on my headset, and the Huey, it's intentionally louder than other aircraft. And I've got the recording set up now that I'm recording the audio separately from the in-game noise now, so I can pretty much adjust volumes at will now and not have to worry about presetting everything, which helps out a lot. Makes it harder to compile and put the videos together in the long run, but I don't have to worry about audio so much. Okay, 40%, releasing the start button. Okay, so good start. Let me go ahead and increase the throttle to full, slowly. And RPM should come up to, it says 68 to 72%. I never did find out definitively what N1 is referring to in this context. I know what N1 is, it doesn't make sense for it to say 68 to 72. Because, I mean, that's, going by the gauge is not in the green, but okay, good, okay, everything is looking fine there. Okay, let me go inverter main on. That'll get power onto my buses. Let me go to IFF to standby to get rid of my final master caution light and reset the master caution system to get rid of the main master caution light. Okay, engine transmission oil pressures check. Okay, everything is looking good, either in the green or below that little yellow tick mark for the temperatures, and also DC and AC voltages on my central bus are what I would expect. Okay, avionics on, starter gen switch to standby, then go ahead and get that starter gen to standby. I believe, yeah, that's it, other than general checks of voltages and instruments. Yeah, that's it for my startup checklist, and I'll go straight to the combat employment checklist and leave it there until I'm all set up. Okay, so for comms, all I'm really going to need is to talk to the tower, so I'm going to go ahead and put that over to the on position. Or that's not the right one, is it? That's the nav comm. I'll go VHF comm to the on position. I will also select position number 3, and that'll set it up for me to be able to transmit on this this radio. I don't need UHF, I don't need VHF FM, I do not plan on doing anything other than visual navigation this time, so I'm going to leave my ADF and my comm nav panel off. So let me just verify, okay, got everything good here. Everything's good on my engine control panel, no caution warnings, everything is good up here. Okay, what else? Navigation. Okay, let me come down to my, what is this, some kind of like a, I forget what it's called, gyro compass, something or other. Anyway, I'm going to set this to the magnetic heading. I'm facing 130, so let me rotate this on over to the 130 position, just so that it's giving me a true heading displayed on this indicator. Okay, and the rest, okay, everything is set up on my ADI. Okay, a radar altimeter. Let me go radar altimeter on and get this set up. So, okay, low altitude, I'll set this to 50 feet. High altitude, I'll set this to 1500. Why not? Run through the test, and that's, how do you test this? Oh yeah, it's depressing this one. Okay, light off, light on when once it goes below the low tick mark. Okay, that's it. let me go ahead and just run through and do some little get-ahead work and not make this all about... I'll try to work something weapons-related in here. Okay, so combat employment. Okay, I'll kind of go through this and just give a brief overview. So, essentially what I have is 2 miniguns, 2 rocket pods. Now, in general, the forward-mounted and forward-facing guns are going to be controlled from the co-pilot position using this flexible sight. The rockets are going to be fired and controlled by the pilot using this kind of fixed-mounted sight. And I can also fire the guns from this position. It's not going to be flex-mounted. I'm not going to be able to slew them or anything, but I can fire them in the forward firing or in the fixed forward position effectively from this position as well. I also have the door gunners back there. I can go back there and take control of them, or I can use the commands and let the AI do things. I can put them into short burst, long burst modes. I can put them into weapons hold. I can tell them to only return fire. I can tell them to fire on anything that they see. I have a whole lot of options here on how to employ weapons. We're going to use them all on this mission and figure out how it all works. But folks, I think that's about at my time limit. For some reason I didn't start my timer, but I'm going to assume that's about 15 to 20 minutes and cut this one here. And come back, get airborne, get into the target area, and start employing. So thanks again for watching. I will see you next time.